Hello there. Today we are going to make an email account. So when it comes to emails, you have several options, and my preference is Google. Gmail is what their email account is known as, and that is what we use at school, as well as what I use for my personal email. And the nice thing about Gmail is that you can have a lot of storage space and not worry about your email becoming crowded. And I really like how Gmail offers a way to kind of sort or categorize your different emails that you get. So if they're promotional, whatnot. But we'll see that. So what you would do is start in opening whatever browser you use, Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, and I have already a couple accounts, so hopefully we don't get logged into those. But this is what it will look like when you go to Google and you'll go to Gmail. And so you can log into your account here, or you can go and click Create Account. And what that will do is take you here and ask you some questions about yourself. And that's pretty much how to get started. So you first type in, and I'll just go ahead and create another account for myself. So we'll do Miss Czech Republic. And then we can choose our username. So this can be your first and last name. You want to try to keep it something that you're going to remember because you're going to use this over and over again. So it could be, my one account for my personal use is my first and last name at Gmail. And then for work, for our school district, every teacher's email can be accessed through the first letter of their first name and their last name. So let's try Miss Czech Republic at gmail.com. And then it will, once we fill this in, it will let us know if that's available or not. Then I'm going to create a password, and it will give you, it prompts you, use at least 8 characters, and don't use a password from another site. And you just want to keep this just Google specific. And the nice thing, another really nice feature of Google is that you can kind of control your security features. So if every time you log in, you want to, it will prompt you to give your password, or you can have it stored and saved in your computer. But obviously, if you're using a public computer, you don't want to save your password. So I'm going to create a password that I know that I'm going to use, and specifically, and I'll tell you whether or not your password is strong, weak, or medium. And then I'm going to put my birthday in here so all of you could see how old I am, the year I was born, and then ask you if you're a male, female, and then ask you for your mobile phone number. So this is optional though. You don't necessarily have to do this. As many of you know, you already know my phone number. I put it on almost everything. So I'll go ahead and put it here. And then my current email address. So I'm just going to put my school email address. And then prove you're not a robot. Skip the verification code. So this is just what it wants you to do is look at these 3 or 4 numbers right here and then type them in. So 6620 is what I see, hopefully. And then I think if for some reason you're visually impaired, it can also hear them. And then you go ahead and agree to the Google Terms of Service. And you can go ahead and click on this, and it's not really signing away your life. It's just kind of saying, you know, thank you for using our products for Google. The policies for using their program, you must follow any policies. And this is really to just protect your safety and you know, your privacy, and the services display content that's not Google's, your Google account, privacy and copyright protection, your content in our service. And again, this is just, you know, so you're appropriate on the internet. It's almost like our school's acceptable policy use. And so go ahead and read through this if you'd like. It's pretty standard for any email account you set up. Just, you know, that you're going to be a good Samaritan when it comes to using the internet. No cyberbullying and whatnot. And so when you're done with that, you can click out of it and then click that and go to next step and see, like it says, do I want it to remember my password? So I don't want it to remember it on this computer. I can, if I clicked yes, then it would remember my password. So your new email address is misschekrepublic@gmail.com. Thanks for creating an account. So easy as that. You've completely created an account. So you're going to continue to Gmail by doing this. Now all of these icons down here offer something else. And that's what makes Gmail so fantastic. And you'll see those icons again as we move forward. So this is welcome to our Gmail account, and it will walk you through the process. So again, it says let Gmail do the hard work. Use one email address for everything, personal messages. So again, another feature of Gmail that I really like is that you can combine multiple emails and filter them all into one. So you don't, like if you have a Hotmail account, if you have another browser account, you can get all your mail into one place. So it's actually, it works out wonderfully. And again, you get a lot of free storage. So if you're not someone who checks your email a lot, or you are someone who checks your email a lot, you can really acquire a lot of email over time. So just be mindful of that. So this is just kind of going through the tutorial. And like I said before, I like how Gmail organizes. So this is promotionals, this is social, this is just your primary, where like emails from friends, family, school. The social ones are for accounts such as LinkedIn, if you subscribe to blogs and whatnot, Facebook, any type of group messaging that you do or are involved in. For example, I have one that I belong to that's a community email group for the area I live in, and so I get social emails through them. And then promotional is all of your, it's not necessarily spam. Spam is a completely different folder, but promotional is anytime really anything's trying to sell you something. So you might get Groupons, I'm trying to think, other promotional ads. If you order from a catalog or online shopping, everything through there is going to be filtered into promotion. So go ahead and click next and make your own inbox. So it says, and you can see how beautiful Google takes you through everything. You can have a sky background, through settings, and it will change. Like I think I have the beach, and in the morning it's a sunset, in the evening it's, the sun setting. So it's pretty nice. And then also the nice thing about Gmail for everyone at this day and age that has smartphones, whether you have an iPhone or an Android device, or a really old flip phone, like my father, he refuses to get a new phone and join the century, but you can put this on your phone. That way, if school's sending you emails, it's will just be easy. It'll be right there. And then, anytime you're on Escondido's website or on their campus, you'll have Wi-Fi. We have a Wi-Fi guest password that you'll always be able to access. And also at your local library, if you don't have Wi-Fi in your home, there's a lot of times you can pick up hotspots. And a lot of your phone may have like the data capability of accessing your email, but just be sure that if you don't want your data to be charged, or you don't have a high limit to, and I'll show you how to put auto sync, or there's a button for auto sync on your phone. So we'll go ahead and click to the next. And so another great tool about Gmail is that you can do Google Hangout. And Google Hangout is really neat because it's a way of instant messaging, but it's also a way, like you're looking right here, to do video chats with other people. So for example, like say my sister lives in New York, she has an iPhone, I have a Droid. I could still, depending on if she has a Gmail account or not, or even if she doesn't, um, GChat is it's universal. So I can just add her over here, and you'll see this in the left column. You'll see the people that have subscribed to you or that you've requested be on your GChat, and from there, whether you have on your phone or on your computer, you can have like kind of a version of Skype, but it's nice because it's not it's less choppy, and there's actually some really fun tools. We do use it at school sometimes when students are homesick or they're out for an extended period of time. And even teachers use it. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be video chatting, but it's just a quick way. For many of you remember Instant Messenger, it's a wonderful way to just, hey, is the student here? Is the student with you? And especially for me, working in the resource room, it's nice for the teachers and nice we don't have to text each other. If we're on our computer taking attendance, it's really helpful. Oh, now we are ready. So we're going to go ahead and go to Gmail. And another wonderful feature, and you guys will see this on my website, is that I have my Google Calendar. So you can see when I have IEPs. I don't put necessarily everything on there, but if you need to get a hold of me, obviously, like just about every day from about 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., it's blocked out. And then the days that we have staff meetings, I put that on there. But you can go ahead and access my, for my website, you can access my calendar if you want to make an appointment to talk about your child, or really if you'd like to set up a meeting to talk with me about progress, anything like that. So we'll say go to Gmail. So here we are in our home box area. So this is my Gmail account. This is my email. And a lot of people, for my other personal account, I add accounts, so I have them all grouped into one, and I can just kind of flip from one to one, which is really nice. And then this is the settings, so you could do cozy, compact, so just a different way of looking at it. So this is easy. I think that's a default one. And then settings. So in the settings, there's so many different options that you have. So set up progress. So obviously we're only 10% done. There's still a little bit more to do. What language? So again, for many of my families that are Spanish speaking, and this will also be interpreted for you, and so we'll have the English and Spanish version. You can put what language you would prefer to receive your emails in. For some of us, that is English because that's the primary language we were taught in. But if Spanish is your fluent language and you're able to read and write in Spanish, then I would go ahead and click Spanish. But I mean, Gmail's so fantastic for another reason is that, literally you can communicate with people, and it's very user friendly around the country, or actually around the world. So phone numbers, United States is my default. And then, you can make your page bigger or smaller, or how many conversations you see per page. This is a standard 50 to 250, but you can make it just, if you don't really want something that's visually overwhelming, you can make it less, like 25. I know sometimes when I come into work and I check my email, even though my email is linked to my phone, it could just be really visually overwhelming first thing when you open up. So this is images, always display external images, ask before displaying external images. So this is if someone sends you a link, or a picture, but this is a default, is always display external. And then default reply is reply, not reply all. So remember, just be mindful of that when you are replying to something. If you get an email blast from your child's from your child's teacher or service provider, just make sure if you just want to reply to that person, you only do reply, not reply all. Many of us have made mistakes of replying to all, especially if it's like a group email. For example, if our principal sends something out to all of us, and then, there's just one thing that we want to direct towards the principal, there's no reason really to do reply all. It's kind of poor email etiquette. You just, unless you're congratulating someone and, an email forum. So just be mindful of that when you are typing and replying to emails. Default text style, so you can make it. So the nice thing, I love this setting, and you can make it bigger or smaller, and you could change the color if you want. Try to avoid light colors because they're really challenging to see. Obviously, you can tell by that. I mean, the standard black is always good to go with. And then, so this is what your text will look like. So you just have a fun way of kind of organizing it. I like to do large just because I feel like I stare at a computer screen so much. And then conversation view, so you could view off, view on, and this is just kind of the way it will set it up and how it will look when you're in your email. And then, so undo send, this is this is a wonderful feature that Gmail is one of the only email providers that has this. So sometimes we go ahead and we hit send before we have finished our message, and usually it will just go to our draft box, which I'll show you later. It will just go right here, but you got to be really cautious. The nice thing about Gmail, again, millionth thing that's wonderful about it, is you can do enable undo send. So for some reason you send an email and you weren't exactly done with it and you hit send anyways, you'll have within 10 seconds to cancel the email, and it'll prompt you. It will say, do you want to send this email sending in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and so on. And this is, default, it doesn't enable it, but I would go ahead and enable it just to be sure, just to be safe. Every feature that it offers, I really like to be mindful of and use, because it's a great feature, again, just in case you get a little keyboard happy and send it right away. So the next is stars. So you could drag the stars between the lists. So you could rate another way to organize, excuse me, your emails. So presets, 1 star, 4 star, all stars, not in use. And then again, so question, exclamation point, you can flag things and it's really helpful. Desktop notifications. So this one says right now, mail notification off. Important mail notifications on. So notify me when an important message is. So if I star something, 1 star, 4 stars. So what it's going to do is it's going to notify me anytime I have an email, whether it's important or not. Keyboard shortcuts are off. You can turn them on, and it's just another feature that you'll learn to play around with, and it's really helpful. And again, it's just really your preference. I'm going to keep my keyboard shortcuts off. Button labels are icons versus text. You can add a picture of yourself, just so people, when you are emailing, can see. And these can be pictures kept in your browser. So just anywhere on your computer, you can go to photos and then find your favorite picture of yourself. The kids and I like to take funny pictures of ourselves. And let's see. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a picture of you. It's helpful, but it doesn't have to be. So I'm going to go ahead and open that and put a picture of myself in. And then it will give me the option to change it a little bit, kind of navigate it around. And it doesn't have to be a glamour shot. And again, just making sure it's an appropriate picture. Many of you are using this for your child to get um, school emails and teacher emails. So, this isn't the best place to put, a selfie, or, I mean, this is actually a selfie, but an appropriate selfie. Nothing that looks adultish. And then people widgets, you can hide people. So display information about participants to the right of each conversation. So it's, again, you're just going to see like their picture. Most of my colleagues have a picture of them. And when we email, I could see their pictures and whatnot. So autocomplete, when I send a message, add them to contacts, or you'll add contacts yourself. This is a really good one to have if you ever just get a quick email and send it to someone. It will save it into your contacts. And this way, like, say, for example, you wanted to email the woman in the cafeteria about a food allergy that your child had. You can, maybe you just got her email once and didn't remember it or didn't write it down. You just kind of sent her an email, or you had it on a piece of paper and you threw it away. This will auto save. So as long as you know like her first name, it will show a list. If you just type D, the woman in the cafeteria's name is Darren. So maybe you'll type D and it will just pull up Darren so-and-so at eusd.org. So I like to enable this feature. It is already defaulted to that, so it's really good to do that. And then important signals. So you can change that here. And again, okay, so a signature, some people don't do signatures. Most of you have got an email from me. You'll see that I do a signature at the end of my email. It's my name, my title, my classroom extension, my personal cell phone number, and also a link to my website, and then just an inspirational quote. So something you want to do down here, I would do Miss Check, and Juniper Elementary. And it doesn't even have to be a title. You could just put Miss Check and your phone number, or, if you have 1 or 2 or 3 children, you can put, Miss Check's mom or whatnot. Again, because many of you are using this for your child and to communicate back and forth between school. And hopefully you'll use it for other things. I mean, in this day and age, I have multiple email addresses. I have 2 personal email addresses. I'm in a graduate program, and I have a school email for that, and then as well as having my EUSD email. So you can have multiple emails everywhere. So it's just really important that you keep it professional and, especially for school correspondences, it's just an easier way for us to get information to you quicker without sending home papers. So instead of setting your um, going through your child's backpack at the end of the day when they come home, it's just a nice way, like, oh, tomorrow we need to do this. Like if the principal's going to send out an e-blast about upcoming school carnivals or open house or things of that nature, it's just a quicker, more efficient way for us to get you information, and also being environmentally conscious and eco-friendly. So I can just do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and put, let's see, oops, I'll put my school number, 760. Most of you know it. You've called me before. And 432-6254. Oh, we made a little mistake. 6254. And then I'll do my extension 105. So you could say insert this signature before quoted text in replies and remove this line that precedes. So I'm not going to do it in every one. I'm just going to do it when I send an actual email out, just because I don't think it's necessary to send it every single time. And then personal level indicators. So this is just display an arrow by message sent to my address, not mailing list. So again, these are just a lot of variety of other options you have that are not necessary. And then one other thing that Google has, and most email providers have this, is a vacation responder. So if you're ever going to be out of town, if you and your family are going on vacation, or you'll be away from your email for a specific amount of time, which in this, I feel like people are never away from their devices, but in the event that you are, good for you and you shut down, but you could put your vacation on or off from this date to this date, and then just write, sorry, will not be accessing email from this time to this time, we'll get back to you on this date or whatever. So I'm not going on vacation, so I'm not going to put this. So you're going to go ahead and save your changes, and then you are here in your email inbox. So another thing, like I told you before, so social is social networks, media sharing sites, dating services, and other social sites will be shown here. Excuse me, not that you're doing a dating service or anything like that. And if you are, they'll come here. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, anything that's a social network or media sharing site will come up here. Promotions are literally, it says deals, offers, and any other marketing emails. So like I said, Groupon, anytime you buy anything, if you shop a lot at the Gap online, or any other website that you buy something, all of those will be here. But your primary email, which is where you'll get the emails from school, from your friends, from teachers, will all be here in your primary account, which is very important. So you want to, and when you pull up your Gmail, it will automatically default you right here to your primary. Okay, so there's a lot of tutorials on how to use it. You can import contacts and mail from um, other websites that you've used or other email providers. And then you can get Gmail for your mobile. It will prompt you for some codes. You can change your profile image. But right now, let's go ahead and choose a theme. And this is pretty fun. So there's lots of different options. Color, background, whatever you're in the mood for. And you can change it. It can be something one day, and, sometimes you like to change it with the mood. So I really like, let's say we'll just do lavender for now. So it completely changes your background, which is pretty neat. And then say you really like, graffiti. So you could say what region you're in. And this is cool because if you're in different regions of the world, this will change it, especially if you do a weather theme as well. So here, this is kind of like what we would see here. But see, for example, that we really like the beach, right? So the same thing, it's going to kind of, if it's like snowy that day, when I lived in Michigan, it would constantly, if it was snowing out, or based on my zip code or area, it would, it would change based on the weather of that day in that area. It was really cool. It updates regularly, and it's, real time. So we have all of that. So our location is San Diego. So we'll keep it kind of aware of that. And then, so our preferences have been changed. So now we can go back to our inbox. And so we chose a theme. We can import contacts. And so any email that you have, you can import your contacts from. If you have Hotmail, if you have a work email, anything, any single account, email account you've ever had, and maybe you don't have any. Maybe this is your first time creating an email account, and that's wonderful. You'll definitely acquire lots of contacts. Hopefully, I'll be one of your first. And then learning how to use Gmail. This is a great tool, and I suggest that you go through all of this. I won't necessarily bore you with each part of it, and it's really just a way to learn how to use it. So just getting started, ways to help Gmail organize you, advanced tips, and then also become a Gmail master. All of these are user friendly, they don't take that much time, and it's just, I mean, really, if you just want to use email to use that, start here. You don't have to go through any of the help videos just yet. You could just start here. So this is, staying more organized. You open up your email, and then you go to your inbox again, the best of Gmail. So you can get the mobile app. So whether you have Google Play or the App Store from, you have an iPhone, you could do it that way, but Google's available on both phones. And again, you can use that Hangout feature too. And then 3 tips to get the most out of email. So bring your contacts, find what you need fast. You can always search, and much more than email. There's so many wonderful things that you can use with your email account. So let's log out. And then we'll try to log back in just to practice. So we're going to sign out. And then, so as you can see, I have a few different accounts, and I have a picture in each of them. So we want to log into Miss Czech Republic, the one. So again, this is going to prompt you for your password, and remember your password or write it down somewhere safe. And then I'm going to go ahead and sign in, and I want it to remember my password or not remember my password. And then it will prompt you. So Hangout here is that what I told you about. It's just the instant messaging, and the more you acquire people, and you can request me, anyone you have their email address, you can request them to be on Google Hangout with you, and it's a really fun feature to use. So I suggest that you use that. And then again, just one last time to show us how to do this. So let's say we're gonna we'll go to Chrome, and we're gonna go to, I want to type in Gmail, right? Gmail. So I have several accounts, and so I'm going to go to sign in. So you go to Google, and so there's lots of different options, but I'm going to say sign in. And so I'm going to remember my email, Miss Czech Republic, and then next. Perfect. So it's there. And usually if you have once you add a picture, that will pop up right here. And then I'm going to enter my password again, and I'm going to sign in. And voila, here we are again in our inbox. So again, you can play around as much as you want. We can go ahead and delete those. So inbox settings, there's so many ways. I mean, just getting started here is a good place to begin. As you get more interested in knowing how to organize or getting the most out of it, here at Juniper and in Escondido, we use a calendar, but this is a whole nother list of things you can do. So there's photos, there's Google Photos, calendar, there's news, you can use Google Maps, Google Search. Google Play Store is for the Android, and that's where you can get apps for your phone and whatnot. Google Drive is something we use a lot. Google Translate is a wonderful app to use. Many of your correspondents, here at Juniper, we give English and Spanish, and again, I will show, this presentation will also be translated into Spanish. But say, for example, a teacher sends something home, and, and you don't read in English, so maybe it says, parent conference, and you can actually have your student type this in for you. Parent conferences this Wednesday at 7 p.m. So, and then you want to translate into Spanish. So there you go. And I know sometimes Google Translate isn't the best, but it's what we're working with for right now. So if this is the note you get home on the right, and oh, okay, at 7 p.m. I have a conference, and usually it will give you date and time. So that's really helpful to have. And then you click on access all that by going right here to this little like Rubik's Cube thing. It's a little 9 diagram. And go to your account, go to Google search YouTube, and that's where you'll access a lot of my videos, is through YouTube. Um, the one where I sent home for the e-reader and a couple other ones just to help you. And again, any questions you have, I'm helpful. I'm always able to answer any questions. Miss Mercedes is our parent liaison. She's able to answer questions, but really it's your level of wanting to just explore here. So go ahead and take time, and you can upload your pictures. Google Drive is great. This is where we share a lot of documents. Sometimes with parents, there's one parent that I have that we share a live document back and forth, and it's just about the progress of her child every day. So it works out really nice. And there's Word documents, there's Excel documents, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but we're just starting with email. So Google has many, many, many different options for their Gmail possibilities. So hopefully this was helpful, and many of you will open your first email accounts. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email from your new email account, and I will be in contact with you soon. Have a great day.